Have you ever struggled with trying to forgive somebody, but you just can't seem to get there? Well, I used to be like that. I thought that I had to spiritually muscle it, produce it myself, find something inside of me to forgive. I was kind of like that mythical figure, Sisyphus, who was constantly trying to roll the boulder uphill and never quite getting there. And then I had this epiphany that forgiveness is supernatural. And it came through the most powerful story I have ever heard about forgiveness. Corrie was a Dutch woman who, in World War II, along with her father and her sister Betsy, were hiding Jews in their home, and somebody informed on them, and the Nazis arrested them. And Corrie and her sister Betsy were sent to a concentration camp where they were treated brutally. And not only were they beaten and put to hard labor, but they lived among rats and lice, and they were malnourished and just constantly abused. Well, toward the end of the war, Corrie's sister Betsy died in the camp. Now, you have to understand, Betsy was not just Corrie's sister, but her lifelong best friend. Well, after the war, Corrie was speaking at a church in Germany. And when she got done her talk, a man came up to her and said, "I was a guard. I was an SS guard in one of the camps, but I've become a Christian now. And I know that Jesus forgives me, but Corrie, would you forgive me?" And Corrie prays silently and is totally honest with God. And she says something like, "Lord, I cannot forgive this man. But would you forgive him through me?" And then she said she felt an overwhelming sense of warmth and peace. And she reached out and she touched this man's hand and she said, "Brother, I forgive you." And when I heard that story, a weight was lifted off of my shoulders, a 2-ton weight off my heart as well, because I realized that I had been trying to forgive people in my own strength. And that's why it was so difficult and unsuccessful. But Corrie showed me, as a believer in Jesus Christ, that forgiveness is supernatural. And now when I need to forgive, I pray the same prayer. Lord, would you forgive this person through me? And it works. I feel peace. I feel a lightness. I am set free from the chains and the slavery of unforgiveness. So I just want to encourage you that when you are struggling with forgiveness as a believer in Jesus Christ, to remember that God doesn't expect us to do it totally on our own strength, that he wants us to cry out to him and ask the Holy Spirit to empower us to forgive through us. And I pray that this true story would empower you to seek God's power and forgiveness as well.